Hi, so today it's Monday and I'm walking yet again from Euston to Victoria, enjoying the fact that it's slightly warmer in the evenings and not chucking it down. So today I wanted to talk about something that's really important to me, and interestingly last week, or maybe even the week before, I did a blog post on this. I watched something on YouTube, and I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's list of what he thought was important to success, and that got me thinking, well, if I wrote such a list, what would I put on there? Well, on Friday I talked about get happy, so that was number one, really, was to get happy, and everything else falls into place. So if you work on that and you get yourself happy, then success comes. So the second on the list for me was values, and what I mean by values is a couple of things. Firstly, to actually know what your values are. I attended a workshop last year with my coach Debbie Huxton, a values day, and I kind of thought I knew what my values were and what were the important ones, and I wasn't so far off. But having done that whole values workshop, I can now know exactly what my core values are, and how important they are to my life. And once you know those core values, and once you know what's going on, it makes it hugely easier to make decisions in your life. Because very often in life, when you've got that kind of nagging voice in your ear, or something feels uneasy, it's very often, or nearly always often, the case that something is compromising your values. And if you ignore that, or you carry on compromising those values, those things don't go away. So it's not like you can say, oh well, I'll brush that to one side and it will get better. It doesn't. Those things don't go away. So the most important thing in life is to work out, once you got happy, work out what your values are. And for me, having done that exercise, it's now made it so much easier in terms of working out or making decisions. And it's also made it a lot easier for other people, because I've expressed what my values are to other people, and therefore it's made relationships more successful. Because if people don't share your values and they haven't got those common values, then what tends to happen is they kind of deselect themselves from your life, or you deselect them from your life. So you tend to end up surrounding yourself by people who have got shared common values. They don't necessarily have to have identical values, but they've got shared common values. And then you suddenly start to find that things in life go so much better, because you've got people around you who've got shared values. The other thing about values is once you've worked out what those are, and you tell other people about those, and you start to put those into your business, like attracts like. So you not only attract the same sort of people in your life in terms of friends and relationships and stuff like that, but you also start to attract the same sort of customers that share your values and share the values that you've put into your business. So for me, having those values has been really, really important in everything I do going forward. In fact, recently I was talking to a potential investor in the business, and normally I would have never had this discussion, but I actually went back to have the discussion with him and actually let him know exactly what my values were for me personally. So my top core value, for example, is freedom. So if I'm going to work with an investor that's going to compromise that, then it's just never going to work. And in the past I have worked with perhaps partners in my business or other people in my life that have compromised that, and it's not their fault. I've allowed them to, compromise. I've compromised our values and created that situation. So therefore what's happened is things have never gone how I wanted them to go, and things have never worked out. And the longer I ignored it, the harder it became. So just knowing what your core values are in life and expressing them to others will make a massive impact on your happiness and your success in life. So find out what they are, get them in order, learn what they are, and most importantly, and this is the hardest thing for all of us in life, is actually practice what you preach. So if you say these are my core values, but then you don't live by those core values, then firstly you're going to have a credibility issue with other people, but you're also going to have, more importantly, a credibility issue with yourself. Because inside, again, you'll be like, well, wait a minute, you're saying one thing but you're doing another, and that tends to have a big impact on your own self-confidence. So the first one out of my list was to get happy. Number two is know your values and live by those values.